Welcome, everybody. I'm really excited to bring day 5 of Activated to you. My name is Victoria Bond. I'm a spiritual empowerment coach, a psychic medium, and we right now are in the middle of a program called Activated, a 7-day journey to activate your psychic abilities through the body. And today we're working on the throat. If you need to catch up, you can go and catch up on any of those calls, of course. You don't need to work. We don't need to work from the root all the way up. We're working on the chakra system. You can basically, with any of my trainings, you can follow suit. There is always a specific way I do trainings and I do my transmissions. But if you're a mani-gen, or if you like me and you don't ever do whole things, you just do what you're called to, trust your intuition with that, of course, because we are all different in how we learn. And I know a lot of people like to come and do all my things from the beginning to the end, and it works for them, where other people just like to dive into different things or do the same thing over and over. So whatever your learning style is, yeah, use that. So welcome to day 5 of Activated. Today we're going to be working on the throat, and we've got a couple of really incredible practices that I'm going to bring forward. And I'm a little bit nervous when the guides told me the practices we're going to be doing today. There may be 2 or 3 of them. We'll see how we go in time, because another one just popped in then. And the throat, I've got to say, this has been one of my weakest points in my body, because, the nervous system is all in here. So a lot of people come to me and say, I have problems speaking. I have a problem expressing my feelings, like bringing it out. I get choked up. A lot of people that come into my programs, like MM or Spiritual Magnificence, my membership, will be like, how do I speak out what is coming up? It's like it gets blocked about here. And of course, we've got the thymus here. And the thymus is like do they call it an organ? What do they call it? Whatever. It doesn't really matter the terminology, but essentially it's like the third eye, and it's activated until we're about 13 and we start, we're going through hormones and whatnot, and we turn into a teenager and it turns off. And I don't understand why this happens, but this is just a real simple practice that I've done since my spiritual awakening. And you may notice that you do this automatically as well, like makeup on here. And it's just rubbing it. And I never used to be able to rub this, because I was like, whoa. And I know people, like my mum's always like, oh, I don't like anything around my throat. And we've all got this kind of witch wound energy going on. But, even just popping your hand there and speaking. So you can try this now. Maybe you go, hi, my name is Victoria. Or, hi, my name is how are you today? And when you speak, you can feel the vibration. And maybe that's enough to begin with. Some of you might want to start rubbing it. I love the whole tap, 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 tap if I'm going for a drive, Otherwise, you can just literally just tapping it, all right? So are you familiar with the thymus? And if not, I wonder what else is possible with you playing with this area, which it's kind of like the second, third eye. The other thing about the neck, is the whole nervous system is in here. And I don't know if the whole nervous system's in here, but it is. And so one of the things I like to do is I just like to hold my neck. Just like if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I hold the top, up here. We're going to go there tomorrow. I hold my third eye. I'm just like, oh, if I'm feeling stressed, I walk around with my hand on my forehead, which is a soothing mechanism that we do as humans. We do that for our children as well. If a child is crying, I will literally put my hand on their head. Doesn't even matter if it's not my kid. I just put my hand on their forehead. So quite often I just walk around like this, or I put on a nice skivvy, or when I was really waking up and seeing everything, I would actually put on a scarf, and I would be seen to wear a scarf quite often. Even if it was the summer, I'd have a light scarf, or kind of like a cute little tie thing here, because it's a very vulnerable space, and we've got so many nerves in here. I will often be massaging. I often am rubbing the back of my neck, and I'm always doing this actually, and massaging down here. And this is something that I do in my membership as well. I'm like, I go, let's do the lymph nodes, let's start massaging, so I will often just start doing this. Today's going to be a real hands-on practice. So really just coming down here and just getting those lymphs drained. And it goes all the way down to here, So just giving yourself some love and light around this area is really, really powerful, and acknowledging our throat. A lot of people can get issues with their thymus, and they can get a lot of issues within their throat, their glands, their tonsils, you name it. I think we've got what are some of the things that we've got here? The jaw, the teeth, the thyroid, the glands, the vocal cords. I notice if I start going, I'm like, oh, what's going on in my throat? So when this comes to our psychic abilities, the throat is the easiest thing to pick up on if it's overactive or underactive. So when we are able to balance this, we are more clear, more concise. We have got a strongness and a clarity in our voice, where if we're overly, basically, what's the word? Like I just said it before, but if we're not balanced and we're kind of overdoing it, if you know, it's blah, 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 like we're talking shit, right? There's just too much talking, and it's just an over expression. It's like, calm down, settle down. Otherwise, it's like I don't know what to say. So we can do one or the other, and they're both kind of lower expressions, where the higher expression is I speak when I feel like speaking. I don't have to persuade or convince. I don't have to be something that I'm not, or say something that I don't want to say. We see this in the lower expression when people are gossiping and the other person feels like, oh, I have to say something so I can create connection here. Because this communication, hashtag communication, I use that word all the time in my coaching, is everything. But if we're aligning and agreeing with people that are speaking not very nicely or bitching and moaning about things, then we can find ourselves speaking to that and joining into their universe and leaving feeling like shit. So this is when the throat chakra essentially gets a little bit icky and needs a cleanse. So our words are very powerful. There's a lot of magic within our words, within how we hold ourselves and how we speak. Not necessarily if the words come out perfect. I say the wrong words all the time, and I talk in riddles, and we're here, there, and everywhere with my open head. But it's the energy we bring forward when we do speak. And that is the most important thing, not how clever we are or whatever. It's literally how can we speak from a place of resonance, like a place of conviction, a place of alignment and authenticity. Super, super important. So a lot of people do get the issues, the hormonal issues, the nervous system. So we can get these issues in health, which is connected to exhaustion. And a lot of it's to do with the neck. And if we just loved it a little bit more and looked after it and took note on the words that we're speaking and how we're bringing out our feelings to the world through our voice, through our channels, or where we're not. If we took note on that and worked on this incredible energetic space, the world would be a different place. How does that feel for you guys? Let that all land. Let that all land. Oh my God, Kylie, my beautiful Kylie. I love you, Kylie. Where have you been? Kylie was one of my beautiful friends, and she left my country. And now I'm like, where is Kylie? Somewhere in the Blue Mountains. Okay, so the throat is such an important part of our bodies because we're here to express ourselves through the vibration of our voice. And we can hear the vibration if we touch our throat, if we touch our thymus, we can hear our heartbeat through here. And this throat has been very underrated. Most people that come to me, their throats are the problem. Their throats are out. And if your throat is out and you don't know how to express yourself because of your past conditioning, then we need to do some deconditioning to come back into what is actually true for you. I've always been mocked for talking too much. And if you had met my family, my mums and my aunties and my mum's aunties, they talk so much that one of my great aunties would put down the phone from her sister, go put up the washing, come back, and her sister was still talking. They all talk at the same time. I don't know how they hear each other and keep talking, but this is a bit of a superpower in our family. But also, it can be overexpression. It can be a sign that we're not balanced. And when I balanced my throat chakra for the first time, I literally had nothing to say for a while because I speak when I'm nervous. I speak when there's silence. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's really about bringing confidence into your world. Now, if your throat chakra is aligned, like I said, you speak with absolute clarity. That the color of it is, I've just got this incredible information here. The color of it is a blue, but what I really talk about as well is it's not just about you speaking your truth. There's so many nuances to what does it mean to speak my truth? And I would write that down. What does it mean to speak my truth? And if I was you, I'd do some journaling on that later because it's not just about speaking your words, although that is very important. It's about showing the motherfuck up. It's about opening the curtains. If you're a client of mine, you've heard this 10 million times. Opening the curtains of the stage, taking a bow and saying, you are welcome that I was born. You are welcome. It's about taking your place on that stage, whatever that means for you. Some of us, it can be visualized as a stage. Other people, we can visualize it just differently. So, for me, it's like taking those veils down, taking those curtains down, taking those lenses off, and it's stepping forward as me and going, here I am. Love me or loathe me. I'm not changing. I'm not changing me or my beliefs, and you love me or you don't. And it's really that simple, but I'm not going to use my voice and align and agree to your points of views or your maybe low vibrational, comments or thoughts because I want to connect with you. I'm going to not do that. So I'm not going to engage in low frequency energetics. I'm going to hold myself. I'm going to stand on my stage and I'm going to take a leap of faith to go towards what I'm meant to be here for. That's what the throat is about. That's what the blue is about. Every time I see blue in oracle cards, it's always telling me that it's time for this person to show up. Every single time. So how does that feel for you guys? Let me know. We're going to do a meditation very shortly and we're going to do a light language. We're going to understand as well, in human design, we either have a defined throat or a non-defined throat, meaning that the chakra is kind of like colored in, if you will, which is about you, expressing about you and talking about you. So you'll find me talking about me a lot. And that's not because I'm narcissistic. It's actually because the way I teach is by using my own stories. And that's what feels comfortable for me. But if you have a non-defined throat, it's a lot more open. So it's not colorful, full of your own experiences with your own words. It's more like you're here to speak for the universe. You're here to speak for the collective. So you may feel more comfortable speaking about what is going on in the world, or speaking, like being the spokesman for the different collectives, for the children or for the education system. You might find that you're on the board of trustees at the school, or you are a part of, I don't know, like big corporations wanting to speak on behalf of a lot of people. And it's not about you, it's about the collective. A lot of people are like that. I'm not like that. I'm here to speak about me and my experiences so you can convert that and see how that works with you. Does that make sense? So go look at your human design chart and see if it's defined or non-defined. And that will tell you everything you need to know about how you work within your psychic abilities as well, and also how you can communicate with the world. So the open one is very much about you're gathering the words from everybody around you. You're feeling if people are like not willing to share their words, so you are very open when it comes to this space, and you are here to be a leader, a leader for the world. Now, if you've got a defined one, it's like, I've got a story about when I was 5. I've got a story about when I was 10. I've got a story that may resonate with you. So then if we resonate and see that we're kind of similar, then you will learn from me. So there's 2 different ways that we function. So with the psychic abilities, you are hearing the voices of everybody, and then you're speaking for the crowd. And that's that non-defined, which is super powerful. And you're going to receive information from everybody else. Okay. So, and that's why I speak in such a unique way. And I speak in a random kind of lingo because it's my voice. I'm experiencing my showing up, and I'm sharing it with the world and gifting my wisdom to the world. So hopefully that makes sense for all of you into HD. Let me know how that feels for you guys. Okay, so interesting discussions with like-minded people, any activity in which you express yourself. This is all to do with the throat. Now, if you're around people that aren't your vibe tribe and they're talking about subjects that you're not interested in, this is your throat is going to tell you, because you're going to stumble when you talk. You're going to get sore neck if you're out. You may even have sore glands or lymphs, and it can go right up into your head. So you may even suffer headaches if your throat is out. Okay. One of the healing practices you can do is rubbing your hands together and just simply holding. I like to turn on the holy fire Reiki and burn away anything that is not serving me. I love to do the little massage here. And I like to massage the back of my neck. I like to stretch it. There's the vagus nerve, so we can stretch it from side to side, stretching out the vagus nerve. I won't go into it too much, but there's some little seeds for you. Very important for the nervous system. Okay, how are we feeling? A lot of training and teaching today. Okay, what else did we want to bring up? Okay, we're going to do some practices now. The practices I'm going to share with you may feel a little bit uncomfortable. Now, the throat is all about showing up. So this is what I do. It's my genius is to help people show up and to stretch their edges, to be a little bit uncomfortable. So I make sure I put myself in those situations as well. So I'm always continuously growing. So using your voice is uncomfortable for some. For me, it's really uncomfortable. This is a very, I want to say, safe space and a very practiced place for me to show up and share this type of stuff. But some things I'm not comfortable with. So light language and singing, like the singing in light language, I'm not very comfortable with that. Singing in general, not very comfortable with that. Screaming and really letting go or making any noises like that type of thing in group, uncomfortable. So when I show up, I'm always pushing my edges, and I'm going to invite you to push your edges a little bit too. So I want you to pop in the chat box. Are you ready to stretch your edges? Because right now you're safe, right? You're in your home. No one's looking at you. You're not speaking. And I'm going to ask you to start using your voice. And I'm going to give you a couple of incredible practices that are going to change your life. Pop it in the chat box. Let me know if you're ready for this. Okay, I'm ready. Yes. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm just drinking my coffee. Okay, if you're ready to practice this weekly as well, I highly recommend you come into Spiritual Magnificence, my membership, because we're always doing really cool stuff like this, really cool practices, and every conversation we have is kind of edgy, so we can stretch our conscious minds a little bit more. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what is the first thing we're going to do? The first one we're going to do is we're going to do the physical one, okay? So this is something that I've done a couple of times in yoga, and you have to excuse me, I'm probably a bit rusty, but we breathe in. So I want you guys to do this with me, okay? So get a space where you're comfortable. We breathe in, and then we breathe out, coming in, and then we breathe in, and up, and then down, okay? So I might have to do this a few times, okay? I might just take my hat off. Okay, my freshly washed hair. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we breathe in and up and out. And we breathe in over our head, up, and breathe out. So the idea of this is we're sweeping it up, we're bringing it into our heart, and then when we're going over, we're going to the back of our neck, and then we're going straight up and then down to our heart. And this is really a perfect practice for the throat. Okay, so we'll do it again. Breathing up and in. And over as you breathe in. And out. Again in your own time. And you can add that yoga breath in if you like as well. This is a practice that I feel really, it's bringing the heart together, the third eye, the crown, with all this area here. It's beautiful balancing, okay? So there's the first practice we want to do. The next one is using our voice. And we're going to be doing the universal Om. Now, this is something I've done a few times as well in various programs and in Kundalini. And, you know, traditionally they say the Om is like, I mean, most people say the Om is like Om type of thing. But apparently what I've been taught is it starts with a Ah, okay? So we want to be using our voice and our vibration. And this is really great to do in the shower. Often I'll do this for like a month straight and I'll just start doing it quite loudly and my children will start doing it with me. So it's three different sounds. So we go, ah, and you can hear a little bit of wobble there. And I'm really not comfortable doing this, by the way, in front of like thousands of people going to watch this. So we go, ah, oh no, so it's ah, oh, ah, or, okay, so do it with me here. Ah, oh, and I'm feeling a lot of rattling. I'm the example here. I like to do this a good 5 times. So we're going to do it one more time, then we're going to bring it together, okay? So do this with me, guys. Ah, oh, okay. And it's funny, just notice how you feel, what comes up for you with this. Using our voice is kind of interesting. How's it feeling? I know when things are structured, I feel good. But when we bring voice in that's not structured and it's to do with feelings, I can get really uncomfortable. So I'm putting myself into a retreat called Voice, where for 3 days we're using our voice and our body. So I'm always looking for that edge, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring it together, okay? So we're going to do this a couple of times. We'll do it one more time. Okay, I'm no Kundalini teacher and I'm not perfect at this, so please don't judge me if you are a Kundalini teacher or you practice that they yom. My purpose is to teach you imperfectly here. Okay, so how does that feel? And I noticed as I was doing it, I was a bit like funny with the bit at the end, but I started getting into it. So now I'll probably spend my day walking around with my children doing the let me know how that's feeling for you, whether it's uncomfortable or how that is feeling. Okay. So the other practice is playing with light language. So I'm not going to go into holding that. This is something that we do in Magnificent Mediumship, and it's something we do in Spiritual Magnificence. There's always light language. But I'm going to invite you in this little meditation we're going to do now with light language. I'm going to invite you to be willing to speak light language if it comes upon you. If you feel like your throat wants to open up, and you just want to play with the idea of doing it, even if you feel like I'm speaking a lot of clearings going now, jibber jabber, or like whatever, this is bullshit. Just play with it, do it. And this is the beauty about children is my children have been speaking, my daughter especially, she's been speaking light language since she was 3. And one of my girlfriends, I one day said, listen to my light language. And I had a recording and she's listening to the light language. And then literally she just goes, blah, 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 and she started doing it. And I said, and then she laughed and I said, that was light language. And she's like, are you serious? And I went, that was light language. But she had no pressure. She thought, oh, this is fun. This is a joke. And I swear to God, she did light language. I was like, wow. Because she was like, just give it a go. Who cares? I got nothing to lose. Right. So we're going to do a little bit of a meditation now. All righty. Okay. Someone said they should have worked from home today. Okay. Take a nice deep breath in and all the way down to your belly and close your eyes if you are ready to. And just bring yourself into a nice relaxing space and letting that breath out in your own time. I invite you to relax your jaw, bring your tongue to the top of your palate. Roll those shoulders back and have your palms facing up. Relax your yoni and your ankles. Just do a body scan. Make sure your eyes are relaxed. Make sure you are breathing, focusing on the inhale, the pause at the top, and then the exhale, the pause at the end, and breathing in again, nice and deep this time. The biggest breath you've had all day, breathing in, expanding that belly. Expand, 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 hold, and release out your mouth audibly if you can. And again, breathing in through your nose, holding, and breathing out. All the way down your body. One more time in your own time, breathing in, holding at the top, and breathing out. And just regulating your breath. And did you know that your voice is worthy to be heard? And let's just flow a little bit of forgiveness to all those people that have ever told us to shut up, to be quiet. Children are meant to be seen, not heard. Wait until you are spoken to. Let's just flow some love to that inner child right now. And this is for the collective as well, especially for you that have got open throat meridians, chakras. Just flow a whole lot of love. I can feel this coming from my hands. A whole lot of love to our throat and our nervous systems for being on hustle mode for too long instead of nurture mode. sending forgiveness to the body and to the system, and to those that told us to speak too much or maybe not speak enough, whatever we had pushed onto us. We want to thank the neck, the throat, the nervous system, the voice box, the vibration, the communication, the strength that we have, the discernment on when it was safe to show up and when it wasn't, safe to speak and when it wasn't. We just throw a whole lot of love into our throat. We say, fuck it. I'm going to speak when I desire. Not all people will be worthy of my words, and not all people will be able to hear my words, but I will speak my words when I choose to speak my words. It is safe to speak my words. It is safe to use my voice. It's about the vibration that you be and your unique codes that come in your voice, not how well educated you are, the fancy words. But by all means, use the fancy words if it fills you up. Use the non so fancy words like fuck, if you choose, or help, or shine, or love, anger, words, vibration. What noise do you need to make? What questions do you need to ask? Where have you been told to stop asking so many questions and to shh? Where have you been shushed or shushed others? Forgiveness. And the light language comes through. Kia baremeka oeaka yahuaria ueana. And if you desire for codes to come through and you want to speak your voice or you want to hum or whatever you want to do, maybe you want to move your body, you can. Kia rama kia hueati kia mapapa. Remeka bebekeria mapakaria to kopekera papakaria mapakara. Take a mapakara papakara to be pekara pekara mapakara patika. Yes, a come pekara papakaria mapakara pekara papa pekara papakara. Young nging a mamangin muti be papaka pakara to mapakara papaka aguma paki bepeke papa remaka bebeka to bepeka papaka papa pekara. Ya, 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 iya, au, ya, wanga, mimi, nga, remeka. Ya, hu, ya, ya, hu, ya, ya, hu. Ya, hu, ya, kiri mapikia, nakatika. Yaka, mapikir, pekara. Let your voices be heard throughout all of the portals to clean and cleanse and to activate your throat, which has many portals connected to many collectives, to many lives that are in the now. Let that land. Let the light flood on down through the pineal, into the throat, down the spine and down through the bottom of the spine as we uncurve right down by the bottom or tail of the spine, opening it up. That's what happens when we birth. We open that spine as our tail opens up to bring down the energy to the earth with our voice, with our vibration, with our knowing. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you are ready, bringing yourself back in, opening your eyes, blink, 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 and welcome back. Today has been fucking incredible. One of my really good friends, who is a human behaviorist, I think, she specializes in the brain, and she said, use your words, always speak your words. Even if you're feeling like you're unreasonably, waffling, the more you speak your words, the more you get it out, the more you figure it out. And a lot of the time, projection isn't for others to fix us, it's for us to hear ourselves. And the amount of times I've written, I've spoken, I like to speak rather than write, and I've spoken a lot of I call it spamming in my VMs to my friends or my sisters, and I've just deleted it and said, you don't need to listen to that. I heard myself, and that's all I needed to do. And now I'm back to regulation. How does that feel for you? Got 2 more days together. Make sure that you rest and look after yourself today. The throat's a biggie. I knew we've gone over quite a bit, like 3 times over. So thank you if you were still here watching this, and thank you if you're on replay. Okay, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful day, whatever time it is, whatever year it is. This is, of course, going to be something that is constantly used over and over, this content. I'm going to be repurposing it all. So thank you for being here and creating this with me. And don't be afraid to, in the Awakened community of Victoria Bond, the results that you are getting. Do a post, share a picture, do whatever you want. We will approve that in there. And let's have fun for the next couple of days together. I'm going to have a great day with my family and cleaning and doing all the things and going to the beach. And thank you for being here with me. From my heart to yours. Namaste.